Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investors Channel. My name is Sensei Crypto and I'm doing the Sunday show. Um, Welcome in everyone. Thank you for joining me for another week of this show. Really exciting show today. We're going to be looking at all the charts, stocks as well. Well, all the things we normally go through, and I look forward to your suggestions as well. There's nothing breaking news today. It's just going to be more focused on you guys and what you want to look at. We will run through some stocks. Obviously, Bitcoin's doing very well at the moment. I think it's very, very close to its highs of the last few years, to be honest. So very close to those ETF highs. Um, I still don't think it can run much further, but we'll look into it. Altcoins aren't running as much as Bitcoin. There is a select few I'm looking at, and obviously we'll be looking at all the commodities as well. So let's see who's here. If you're already here, please do hit the like button and do press subscribe. Let's go straight into the charts. So obviously I'm just going to start off with gold. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I do believe this is going to be a better play than the S&P. Obviously S&P 500 is still running. Gold is much safer, I think, at the moment. They're both at the S&P and gold are both at all-time highs, but gold is a nicer place to be parking your money, as it hasn't really gone too far from its all-time highs in sort of 2011. Normally there's sort of a 10-year cycle, 10-15-year cycle of gold where it does outperform. Obviously we have wars going on, which gold always performs well in times of that. Inflation as well, gold performs well in times of inflation. It's been 100 years since the dollar's been the world reserve currency. That could be changing slowly. Obviously there was a banking collapse earlier last year. Gold does well in that, as does Bitcoin. So I think this year targets of gold is $2,400 to the top targets being $2,800. So that's gold, and obviously silver should follow suit. Silver's just been going sideways for a long while now. It's outside of the trend line, so we do expect it to head up to sort of $30 this year as well. And if it does break that, then it could go to its all-time highs around $50. MSK, would you buy physical gold? 100% physical gold is better than buying gold in a gold ETF or anything like that. I definitely recommend buying physical gold, as well as it being you buy gold coins. You can pick them up for basically spot price. If you want to message me on Discord, I know a few places. I wouldn't buy it online because they charge a little bit more of a premium. You live in London, MSK. There's in Hatton Garden. If you go to sort of Bayard and Co, somewhere like that, they've got official coins that for very 1% above spot or even close to spot. And the coins would be in the UK capital gains tax free. So that's always nice. You've got US oil here. It's actually looking nice. It's sort of a trade setup, to be honest. It should be heading higher, as well as UK oil that needs to get above $82. I'll message you after liquidating some cash. And I go, yeah, I'm happy to help. Obviously, I don't give financial advice, but I'm definitely happy to tell you where I believe is the best place to be buying physical gold, safest way to do it. And as I said, it's buying UK gold coins is you make capital gains. It's you don't have to pay any tax on it, I believe. The VIX, the volatility index of the S&P 500, again at these very low levels. It can go down as low as 8. It is in the danger zone though, meaning the volatility is the risk is more to the upside in terms of the volatility index going higher, meaning the S&P is going to be more volatile, and that's probably going to be to the downside. As you can see, it can be in these levels for a while, but there is always spikes when you are in this level, and we haven't had a spike for a good few weeks. So something else to look out for. Again, that's the COVID spike over there, but you can see this zone down here. Normally you get some spikes when you come down in these levels. Whether it be something like this, where you think it's been in this range for a while, but then you sort of add on the the S&P onto this chart. Let's do it as the same scale, maybe. You can see, I wonder if I should put it on a different scale, but you can see, let me try and put it on a different scale, it'll look better. New price scale. Sorry. So we're going back to the 1990s here. So you can see it was down at these levels for a while, but within being down at these levels before it went on really high, before that happened, all these little spikes were fairly big moves down in the S&P 500, not massive, but areas where you could. So that's a 5% drop, and that's just come down slightly in this danger zone, and then there was obviously another 5% drop. So this is the zone where you normally have drops, and then within this accumulation, there was quite a spike up on the volatility index, and that moved the S&P down 10%, and then you get the real sort of spikes up, which can let's find out how much it went down there, which can sort of be more of a bear market territory. So you have these spikes up, for example, in 1998, where the S&P fell down 20%, and then you see spikes here where the S&P is just falling. So what I'm trying to show you is this zone down here. Within the danger zone, you do have pushes up, which will be 5 to 10% drops, and then you might have, after accumulation at this zone for the VIX, you might have a bigger move up, which can translate into, so you break out of this zone and you keep going up, which can translate to sort of more of a 56% drop in the S&P 500. So to summarize, throughout this high risk zone for the S&P 500, this low zone for the VIX, there's going to be 5 to 10% moves down in the S&P 100 and sort of 10% moves up for the VIX within this zone. And then once it's done accumulating, spends quite a time in this zone. Then you have the bigger crashes. Then you have the 20 to 50% drops on the S&P 500. So again, we have entered the zone. We might have a few 5 to 10% drops. We might be in the zone for a year with a nice bull run, but we are in the danger zone for the VIX. So I wouldn't be buying at all-time highs. I would at least wait for 5% drops and then buy in the S&P if you really want to be invested. On YouTube channels, on various YouTube, sorry, let me go back to the comments. On various So on YouTube, various channels recommend the American Eagle or Buffalo, Canadian Maple or Britannia or Royal Mint. What do you think? Yeah, so the American Eagle here has a premium. The Buffalo, I mean, if you're in America, you're probably more likely to buy them, unless you're like trying to collect and want a bit of everything. It doesn't really matter. It's the gold itself that matters. Get whatever's cheapest. I mean, they'll all probably be around the same price. The least premium, because we're in the UK, is probably Britannia's, and I wouldn't be buying it from the Royal Mint because they have a higher. I mean, all the Britannias are made at the Royal Mint, but they are they put a bit more of a premium on the Royal Mint website. So again, there's a few places in London. The most official is Baird and Co, something like that. BAIRD and Co. I think it's less than 1% over spot price. So as soon as gold goes up, and then when you sell it, it's about 1% below spot price. So as soon as gold goes up 2%, then you start. Then everything from then on is profit. In the UK, I mean, if you find someone selling them at a price and you want to collect them, then get some American Eagles, Canadian Maples. Canadian Maples normally there's a lot of silver ones, but I think the best one is probably when the UK, so Britannia is probably the best. Lance is here. Hello, Lance. Development alert. Hello. It must be very late for you, Zach. Thank you for joining us today. James 007 is here. Good evening, Sensei, and everybody. Good evening to you, James, as well. Thanks for being here again. Lance Stromp, can you look at the FSR chart to see if it has established a baseline to potentially move up? I'll try and remember that. We're just running through some stocks and indicators at the moment. If I do forget, please just put it back in the chat and I'll have a look at it later on. So yeah, that was the VIX and the S&P 500. We looked at oil. Have a look at the total market cap of the crypto currency market. It's at a very key level. Sort of 1.7 trillion is how much the total value of all cryptos, including every single altcoin, is. And we're at the level again. We got rejected the first time, we're coming back to it. So let's see what happens now. Is this bull run going to continue? It might do. We're still half invested, half not. I just think the risk is probably to the downside. So that's why I'm not buying anymore. Go over to the stocks. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, microsailors company is in a nice move up. Coinbase again is a nice move up. Amazing trade that we took on Coinbase. Wrap Technologies, wow, another 5% up. Really, really nice. I love the look of the stock. Martyn has been interviewing the CEO, which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations to Martyn for getting another CEO on the show. Amazing news. We got the world premiere. I actually invested right before it. I mean, it's not I mean, we're not here to pump and dump stocks, but when Martyn gets a world exclusive, I personally made the decision I'm going to make invest in Wrap because I liked the look of it before. And then I thought, why not? Let me just invest before. This might be good news. We're getting it before everyone else. Well, at the same time as everyone else, really. And since then, it's been up 15%. So that's absolutely brilliant. So thanks, Martyn, for that. Again, it could have gone the complete opposite way. It could have been like PayPal. The news, they said that there's going to be exciting news, and the news wasn't that brilliant, and PayPal came down. Could have been the exact same way. So it's up to you guys, but the information was there. And I'm enjoying the ride of Wrap. I think I'll be a long-term investor in Wrap Technologies. I think what they're doing is really, really, really interesting. And their market cap, 202 million. It could be $1 billion company, another 5 to 5x. Again, it's in a bull run. It's sort of trending up. It is actually at sort of some resistance, to be honest. So it's around here. So we'll see how it reacts. Would like to see it wrap above $4.6. Yeah, thank you, James 007. Let's hit the like button if you have just joined in. Fiverr, we saw the lows. It's actually looking good. Looking like it can head back up to maybe $44. PayPal, has it recovered? Still trying to break out this trend line. So we'll see this purple trend line. You sort of break out, and then you've got $76, $88, $103 as your targets. Low side targets is $42. So prepare for all cases. Prepare for it to go up and take profits. Prepare for it to come down and have some cash on hand. Etsy's looking fine. iBit finally moving back up. A gap on the chart, so expect that to be filled at $26. We'll look at the Bitcoin chart as well after. Rivian, it's not for me, but it's at all-time basically at really low levels. So if you like Rivian, if you believe in it, then when better to buy it than at the basically all-time lows. Shopify back into a bull run, looking good. Hood, will Shopify go to its 2020 lows? Let's see. Yeah, this is what I've been talking about with Meta. I think Amazon did it. Shopify did it. When it comes to its 2020 lows, and there's more value in the company now, then it's a buy for these big companies. I think that's when we were looking at it around $30. Now it's at $90. That's a 3x. Meta was $90 when we were buying, me and Martyn, actually below $90. That's now 400 plus, back to its 2020 lows. The reason I haven't been buying Apple and Microsoft, even though they've been going up, it's been higher risk. They never came back down to their 2020 lows, and that's a nice little metric you can look at. to see how undervalued something is, especially the big companies. Hood, it's looking good. Still waiting for the UK app. Had the meeting with them. Wasn't signed an NDA, so can't say much, but nothing too exciting to report back. Amazon again, looking good. I think, yeah, 2020 lows. Look at that, 2020 lows, $81. We had our line there. The bullish divergence was there. We were showing, and now look at it. It's doubled in price, over doubled in price. ARK Invest, 2020 lows, came back, retested them, and now it's on its way up. So it's already, might not look like a lot. It's not really that much compared to the others, but it's already up 47% on a major ETF. GameStop is not a good investment unless you're scalping it. Google, again, it's at all-time highs, but never came too close to the 2020 lows. So I'm happy to miss out on Google. What's its gains from the lows? Up 60%, but what's Meta's up 500%, Amazon's up 100%, Shopify's up 300, 400%. So you win some, you lose some. We're looking for low risk zones. Tesla, again, we were buying under, I think it went around $100 was the buy zone. I do expect it to come back down slowly and surely. What I've drawn here is lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. See if the trend continues to the downside. Corsair Gaming, nothing interesting. Alibaba is in the buy zone, one that hasn't already run anywhere between 70 and 55. If you believe in Alibaba as a company, then you start DCAing in at these zones. SBC, again, we've gone through the stock so many times. Areas not to buy, areas to buy, areas not to buy. What's the next area to buy? Well, if you're bullish on SBC, you really want to see it regain the 184 level and go back above. If it doesn't, then 150 is back in the cards. I didn't want to say that, but it could be. Microsoft, again, another one that's performed really well. You can't get them all, and there wasn't a specific buy that I put out for Microsoft. The Russell 2000 is breaking out, so that's looking good. SBC might do well after all. Mullin, Nasdaq is just going. Not expected for me, but I mean, if it continues going, it could go to 20,000. So that's why you never go all out, go all in. Rocket Lab. I mean, how many times did we say to sell? But I said I think I remember Martyn taking the trades as well. I just don't know what his view is on Rocket Lab at the moment. But I mean, it came back into his buy zone. I think I do actually remember he was quite. I think he wanted. I've tuned into a show when this big drop happened, and he said Rocket Lab's a buy, and it's gone up since. So it was in the buy zone for me. I think Martyn did buy as well, and it's up 12%, looking good. The S&P 500. Interesting now. It's in this parallel channel. It's coming up towards the top of the parallel channel. Is it going to break out, or is it going to stall out at this point? It's really on the edge right now. It might have one little pop and then it will come crashing down. But yeah, I think next week S&P 500 is going down. That's my personal thoughts. Netflix went below its 2020 lows. Well, I don't remember looking at it that much, so I can't say for sure I said buy that one, but there it is. Not much to say about Netflix. Wouldn't be buying it now. Apple again didn't come down to its 2020 lows. We missed that buy. I mean, we had the buy zones, the DCA zones. Buy a bit there, buy a bit there, buy a bit here, buy a bit here. We didn't get the last 3 buy zones, meaning we'll probably only be 50%, 40, 50% invested. But that's enough. You don't need to get every single buy zone. You just want to minimize risk. Lucid is not good. J&J, buy zones were there. Anything interesting? There you go, Meta. If you didn't remember, we go back and watch the videos. It was actually under $90. We literally, me and Martyn, if you go back, I think I called in and me and Martyn was saying Meta's a good buy, and I think it was under $90 when we had that call in. Coca-Cola. This was more Martyn buying it at this level here, $52. Of course, now we know Martyn's become more of an impartial channel. He sold all his stocks and put it into the S&P 500, which is a great move for the channel. Obviously, he's entitled to always change his mind. It's his money; he can do what he likes. But for now, I think he's done a very good decision. Just being more impartial, and he is. He's been losing out money because a lot of his trades have gone so right. But he thinks it's more important to be impartial for the channel, for the channel's growth, and for the members. So very, very good from Martyn. Thank you, Martyn, for doing that. Tilray, it's looking all right, to be honest. I mean, 171 certainly in play and 150 is in play, but it's can't get it much lower than this. Palantir, the buy zones were there, and now we're breaking out, so wouldn't be buying it now. McDonald's wouldn't be buying now. Disney, again, I don't draw these in after. This was the buy zone for Disney, $80, and it's reacted, and it's at $108. I need to correct myself. Sometimes I do draw in later, but for a lot of them, when I put the buy zone in, I don't actually. That's if I put a trend line. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's breaking out. I mean, yeah, 50,000, 55,000. I mean, maybe we even get 60,000. I mean, the ETFs are live. The GBTC selling is mostly out the way, so it's just more sentiment again now, and there's more ways to buy it. So I think in time we'll see a retest of 30,000. I'm not buying anymore. We're 50% invested. It is breaking out. So if it keeps going, if it breaks 49,000, then 55,000 is in the cards, and it can continue going. XRP, I saw MSK asked me a question about XRP is a long-term play. I mean, expect maybe 1 year, 2 years to be $5, $3, $2, $1, whatever it is. I really think it's going to be higher than this, 50 cents. Anything below 50 cents, as I keep saying, is sort of an accumulation, and remember 30 cents can come in play as well. So prepare for all outcomes. Have some now, because under 50 cents is good. I'm still all in an XRP. Not that I have more money than you, MSK. I remember you saying that your holdings nowhere near as much as you, MSK. But I'm in, which was significant to me. Under 50 cents, hopefully buy more. At 30 cents, I'll find some money and put it in. That's for sure. Prepare for all outcomes. Under 50 cents, very likely. That's a good part. Coming down to 30 cents, I give it sort of a 50% chance of happening. Coming down to sort of 20 cents, maybe a 10-15% chance of happening if everything goes wrong in the markets. So you have to be prepared for all outcomes. But at the end of the day, I see in 2025, XRP has probably surpassed its all-time highs at $3, and we're on our way to $5. I'm not going to say my really bullish targets of, actually I'll say them, $10, $15, $20. That's all in the cards, but $5 I think is fairly bullish target, and I think it is quite acceptable. Ethereum looking good. I mean, coming up to resistance at 2,600, but Bitcoin's breaking its resistance. Is it going to take out its ETF highs, or it's going to be a double top for Bitcoin? Dogecoin is looking good to accumulate. Again, altcoins are not performing as well as Bitcoin, but we know altcoins will outperform Bitcoin in the long term. So depends how you want to play it. And again, there's those really risky ones that some people like, and we play around with them, but I normally prefer playing around with them once we've made money. Let's say we made a 10x of XRP, I'll put 5-10% of it in. I'm happy to put it in these really high risk coins that can make another 100x, but I'll do that in the bull run, not now. Okay, and then we've done the stocks, we've done the red list. Let's answer some questions, and let's be finishing up the show again a bit early today. We've got a lot of preparation. I've got something to do tomorrow, so let's get the questions in, let's get them answered. Let's see, MS. If you have just joined, please do hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, you can comment as well and ask your questions. We talked about gold, FSR. Let's quickly look at that. Visco. Okay. Visco suggests Visco. Lance strength, FSR. I mean, these charts, they just indicate something's going to zero. I can't analyze them. I don't like analyzing them. I think the SBC is sort of my limit on how far down I can look at a chart going. Something like that, it's just horrendous. It's gambling at this point, putting your money in him. I mean, it is $405 million market cap, which is bigger than Warp, for example, but Warp's chart doesn't look like this, and it's very hard to analyze a chart like this unless you're sort of trading on a 4-hourly basis. And if you look at the 4-hour, maybe it's going sideways to accumulate, and then go up, or maybe it's accumulating like this to go down further. Unfortunately, I can't give you an analysis on Visca. All I can say is all it's been doing is been in lower highs, lower lows. So what makes you think it's going to do anything different? Look at the fundamentals. Ask Martyn for a review. Add to the list of 40. Do it that way, but I can't give you a chart analysis on that. Look at the fundamentals. I can't give you much technicals here. Let's look at some other questions. And that's no disrespect to you, Lance Strength. I mean, it could end up going back to $6, $10, but I can't analyze it on that. If you believe in it, don't let me put you off. But it's just a chart like that is something I personally like to avoid, and I can't personally do any chart analysis on it. James W. Sensei, can you look at the charts for gas? Okay, it just keeps coming down, doesn't it? Winter's not as cold as expected. Natural gas is coming down. Again, could it be heading down to 1.8? Maybe. Let's look at it more long term. Yeah, I mean, it could be coming down to sort of these lows here at 1.9 or 1.8. It's broken down through $2, so not looking brilliant. But it's in the buy zone-ish. So I mean, are we prepared for it to come down to 1.8 and then maybe down to 1.8? Yeah, probably into the 1.8s. I mean, worst case scenario, it's going to come down to 1.5, but I don't really see that happening. It's not 2020, is it? So 1.9 is the lowest I think it can go. I mean, maybe a 20% chance it comes down to 1.8. Most likely it'll probably come down to 1.9 and react off that level. I wish I can give better news. I mean, it is at quite a low point in history. If you're just buying natural gas, then it's good. You might get $3 out of it. If you're trading, it's a bit harder because you have to put stop losses and you don't want to get liquidated. So if I was trading and the way I trade, I would make sure I wouldn't get stopped out or I wouldn't get liquidated until it goes under 1.8. But if you're trading with high leverage, then 1.9 maybe as a stop loss. If you're just buying this to just hold without much of a liquidation value, then it's in the buy zone, and you're looking for a $3 or $2.8. Needs to stretch out a bit. If you're buying this more just long term, then you can afford to sort of wait until $2.8, and it's in the buy zone. What's the other one? Rocket Lab. We did look at Rocket Lab, but let's have a quick look at it. Okay, LB, wasn't it? Okay, LB. Yeah, I mean, it's the historical low zone. I mean, the only issue of a chart like this is you can invert it, and then what does it look like? It looks like looks fairly bullish because it's like you've gone up to it in a bull run, then you're knocking at the door 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 times, 6 times. What do you get if you knock on a door a few too many times? You get a breakthrough. So you're looking at something like maybe like this. So you can still get in now, but then be careful. If it breaks through, then you might want to sell your position when it comes back for the retest of this level. And then it might be looking at something like this. So now if you invert the scale again, what is sorry, why is this S&P still? No. When you invert the scale again, what does that look like? It looks maybe like it's going to break down. So I'd be careful. Yes, it's in the buy zone, but if you see it break down, you're probably going to get a retest up and it might come back all the way down. So I wouldn't go all in because it's knocked on the door a few too many times for my liking. Any views on Bitcoin? We look at Bitcoin. Will we hit all-time high on Bitcoin? Yes, we will. Is it going to be from this move? I think we'll retest 30k before we do that, at least. Also, Coinbase. We looked at Coinbase. Yeah, I'm holding a solid. I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? But I'm holding a solid amount for myself. I'm just going to put it that way. 110 chooses a high Sensei thoughts on Matic bullish fundamentals 5x low risk. Yes, I do think so. Matic, if you believe it or not, I bought Matic at sort of 0.0. Look at the chart, 0.001 or something. That's the market cap. So Matic US. I bought Matic down here in 2020, 2021. So it was 0.01. 0.01. So for me, I just can't bring myself to buy Matic here. I mean, I sold most of it at sort of 40 cents, to be honest, which was an amazing, more than, what was that? 10, like 30, 40x or something like that. I sold out, which is obviously great. I just can't look at Matic the same anymore. And personally, sorry, I'm just not showing the right chart, but I can't look at Matic the same anymore and personally buy it because I was buying around here. But yeah, I mean, looking good. Everyone likes it now. And back then, no one was really talking about it. I was just going through and looking at some cryptos that looked fairly promising and buying them. And it turned out to be one of the good ones. And everyone says it's a good use case, which obviously I think it is. It's hard to tell if it is back here, and that's when you take the risk. But yeah, I mean, by everything I've seen, I can see it going back to all-time highs at 2.5. And obviously, as a use case, I know Martyn holds a Matic as well. So personally, because I've seen it do a 40x, I can't bring myself to buy it at this price. But looking at it without my past experiences, yeah, it can certainly do a 3, 4, 5x. Best case, it can probably do a 10x. What's the market cap? Yeah, we can go up to a $1 billion market cap. So yeah, it can do a 10x. Best case scenario. But so can XRP, and that's at better levels. And remember, a lot of coins that do well in the last bull run don't tend to do that well in the next one. It depends, but yeah, I think Matic's one of the good ones. Hi all, how are you doing today? Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Oh, that's Martyn's in the chat. Hello to Martyn. We look forward to your stream tomorrow. Still holding 4,000 in cash. We'll have another 2,000 in the month as earning 5% cash. As earning 5% in cash, yes. Robinhood has a great feature where you earn 5%. I'm waiting for a dip in the S&P, still 95% invested. Yes, it's always great to wait for a dip. S&P goes down 5-10%, Martyn buys a bit more, goes down another 5-10%, you buy a bit more. You don't want to, what I say to a lot of people, for the other people listening and who are in the S&P, don't chase the buys. Just set levels. If it goes down 5%, I'll buy $4,000. If it goes down another 5%, I'll buy $4,000. But when it goes down 5%, then you see it go down another 2%. Don't keep going, because you need to remember the S&P 500 can come down 25%. It's happened in the past. It can. You have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Coming down 50%. I think that's the level. I think worst case scenario, S&P comes down 50%. Now let's prepare for that. That means it can have 10% drops or some, well, no, like 10% drops, something like that, for it to come down that level. So you want to be buying it when it drops 50%. So preparing for the worst case, so you have at least a little bit of cash to buy it when it drops 50%, and you don't buy it all. just to maximize the growth. New FSR video on the way. Oh, amazing. So Martyn will be doing a video. That's amazing. Wasn't even planned. You asked for it and you're getting it. Amazing. Thank you, Martyn. Sensei, you are on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick and Facebook. Amazing. Anyone watching on Rumble, Kick, Facebook, please do say hello or pop into YouTube. Thanks for watching. Lance Strength, for the FSR earnings, I mean, lol. Hello, Sensei. Can you please provide your views on Z? Okay, I think this is going to be the last request unless anyone gets anything else before. So I also need to go to the toilet. Z, what was it? Can't see anymore. ZVR. Therapeutic. Sort of a quick one for this again. It just looks like it's going down, so it looks like it's something you might be chasing, or just, I mean, yeah, it's been accumulating, but it can come down to $2. So be careful. It doesn't look like a great upwards trending stock. It looks like something's definitely gone wrong in the company. So be careful. Yes, it's looking like an accumulation range. Take profit, maybe $15, but be prepared for it to come down to $2 as well. IQV. Yeah, looking good. Growth. What do I think of it? I mean, it looks better than the other stock, to be honest, but again, fairly close to all-time highs. What's the market cap? 39 billion. So very big company. I mean, it's just more about, that's what you're looking for. Just draw that trend line on your graph. When it breaks that, it's going to all-time highs, and you don't really want to lose these levels here. So prepare to buy it at 168. If it breaks 224, then you're probably going to all-time highs, and then you can do a Fibonacci retracement, so you can go from up to down. Breaks all-time highs, then you're looking at sort of $360 in the long term, but you need to break 225 before you sort of get that breakout, then go to 285, then go to 361, but always be prepared for a scenario where it comes down to 166 as well. You might be half in now, you might have areas to take profit. Your first profit should be at 288 at all-time highs, but you have some little bit of cash to buy at 168 if you really believe in the company, and then obviously 2020 lows, probably not likely on this company. Yes, that's that one done quickly. Sensei, thank you for looking at natural gas. I like to day trade natural gas with some leverage. It is dangerous to chain on good profits can be made. Yes, it can be. James 007. So those levels I showed, then maybe buy at those levels and day trade. Let's have a quick look at it again. I'd love if I was day trading natural gas, and I'd probably get a position in it if it does come down to a level of, let's go into more of a 2-day. If it comes down to 1.9, then you might get a little position in, just a little long, see how that goes. And then if we come down to 182, then you get a quick long in, take profits at $2, just below $2. But yeah, I'll be looking at these lows here to get a bit of reaction. Like we already have got a little bit of reaction from the first low at 192. Okay, let's put the finishing music on. We've been live for 40 minutes. I normally go live between 30 minutes and an hour and a half, depending on the day. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll always be here to answer your questions on charts. Some days more than others. If you haven't already, hit a like on your way out. MSK says, James 007, hope. Have you made consistent profits by leverage trading on that? If so, then you're doing well. Yeah, it's because it's been going down so much. It's actually quite impressive if you have. But yeah, it's a good one to trade, I think. Especially now it's coming lower and lower. The risk is more to the upside. But you don't want to get too high leverage because obviously it can come down to 1.8 or something like that. How many likes have we got? Let's do this one. 21 likes. Let me like it myself. 13 watching, 22 likes. Amazing. Thank you all for liking. And I'll definitely see you again I was going to say next week, but I need to speak to Martyn about next week. I might be in the country, I might not. So maybe I might do a call in instead, but definitely be back the week after. So just keep an eye out. I'll let Martyn know so he can let you guys know during the week if I'm here or not next week. But we've been here every single week since we started, so it's time for me to take a holiday. I'm joking, yeah. We'll see. I'll let you guys know through Martyn. He'll let you know if I'll be here next week or not. I've had some good profits in natural gut, but at the moment it has been tricky. I didn't know if the cover drop as low as has the last few trades. I've lost money. Yeah, it's double-edged sword. They always say you win before you're about to win, and then you quit, but then you also don't want to lose more money. So definitely put some risk management in place. But good luck to you. It is in the buy zone now. But anyway, until next week, thank you guys for tuning in as always. Always enjoyed doing the show, chatting to you all. Thank you, Martyn, for everything you do, and thanks for the show again. Until next time, please do take care of your money, your crypto, your stocks, everything, yourselves and each other. See you next.